A shocking signing out of Portland today as the Trailblazers signed guard Devonte Graham to a one-year contract. Graham is a 6-year NBA veteran who spent last season with the San Antonio Spurs, playing in only 23 games, averaging 5 points and 2 assists. Graham's NBA career has been kind of weird. He averaged a whopping 18 points and 7.5 assists in his second season in the NBA with the Charlotte Hornets back in 2020, but has since seen his production decline, and now he lands in Portland, and this signing raises a lot of questions. First off, this could just simply be a training camp deal, and therefore very inconsequential. If his contract is non-guaranteed, then I would expect him to be a likely cut candidate going into the season, and for this signing not to matter at all. But it doesn't seem like a player of Graham's caliber would sign a training camp deal, and if Graham is coming to Portland on a guaranteed contract knowing that he's going to get a roster spot, then that means that somebody has to be on their way out, as the Blazers had 15 full roster spots before this signing, and Graham would therefore have to replace someone. The Blazers, of course, have two ways of shedding a roster spot. The easiest one would be cutting Delano Banton, who has a partially guaranteed deal. They could also cut other low-salary players on the roster, maybe Jabari Walker. However, Walker's contract was non-guaranteed earlier in this offseason, but the date has passed to waive him. His contract is now fully guaranteed, and it wouldn't really make sense for the Blazers to cut him now when they could have saved the money by cutting him earlier in the offseason. And that's what makes this signing a bit weird if it is indeed a fully guaranteed contract that the Blazers gave Devonte Graham. The other option to shed salary spots would be in a trade. However, Portland's two biggest trade candidates are Anthony Simons and Jeremy Grant, and they're making $25 to $30 million. It would be very difficult for the Blazers to find a trade that works where they actually trade out more players than they get back. For example, the most likely trade package for Jeremy Grant involves the Los Angeles Lakers trading 3 salaries straight up for Grant. Those 3 salaries being Rui Hachimura or D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, and then another small contract to make it work, like Cam Reddish or Jalen Hood-Schifino. Deals like that only add to the Blazers' roster spot total, so I don't really see how this signing is indicative of a big trade coming. Now, if the Blazers have something for Anthony Simons lined up, then they would need some guard depth and maybe somebody that could actually play minutes next season. But if Anthony Simons is not getting traded, then Devonte Graham is no more than a third-string point guard, with Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons likely being staggered if they start next to each other, with Scoot being the starting point and Simons being the backup point, much like CJ McCollum was in the past to Damian Lillard. And honestly, signings this small, I never assume are indicative of bigger moves coming. Even if this is a guaranteed contract, it could mean that the Blazers like him better as a third-string point guard than Delano Banton. But that's why this signing was so shocking, with the Blazers having 3 young guards, being in rebuild mode. Devonte Graham's already 29 years old. He doesn't factor into the future. The Blazers don't have the roster spots to bring him in without making another move. So when it was first reported by Adrian Wojnarowski that the Blazers had signed Devonte Graham, it was very, very shocking to me. And this is the biggest free agent signing that the Blazers have made in the past 2 off seasons. Last offseason, their biggest signing was Moses Brown. The only 2 roster spots they changed so far this offseason, they changed on the first day of the draft when they drafted Donovan Clingan, who replaces Moses Brown's roster spot, and traded Malcolm Brogdon for Denny Avdia. That's it. Otherwise, the Blazers have 13 guys returning. But that might not be the case after this Devonte Graham signing. But I still think this could just be a training camp deal. Graham only shot 35% from the field and 30% from 3 last year. He's not good defensively. He's only 6'1". He has really fallen off. And when you look at some of the bigger names that are still available on the free agent market, especially at his position with a guy like Markelle Fultz, then maybe this was the best deal that Devonte Graham could get. I just think there would maybe be another team out there that would have given Devonte Graham a training camp deal where it would have been more likely for him to make that team. So like I said, this signing raises a lot of questions. You can let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. The Blazers finally did something, but it's something that doesn't make a ton of sense right now, and we'll just have to see what the details are. Either it's going to be very anticlimactic and it's a training camp deal, or it's guaranteed and the Blazers are going to have to cut or trade someone and clear a roster spot. I will say the timing of this is interesting on the back of Aaron Fentress's reports that the Blazers are looking to trade one of Jeremy Grant or Anthony Simons before the offseason is over. You had Jeremy Grant and Lakers rumors percolating recently. You had Zach Lowe saying, maybe I should get a Jeremy Grant Lakers jersey. I might go buy one. There's noise around the Blazers right now. who knows if it results in anything more than just this signing. Leave a like on the video. We'll talk about this more on our live stream Thursday night, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, as we provide Blazers content year-round. With that being said, I'm out of here. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers!